Hi, I'm Katie Thompson. I'm one of the spirit play teachers at UU, and I'm here to share a story with you. The story is called The Great Kapok Tree. It's for Violet, one of our promises, which is to value our home, Earth, that we share with all living things. In our Unitarian Universalist community, we make promises to each other about how we're going to treat each other so that we all get along and do what's right. In the Amazon rainforest, it's always hot. And in the heat, everything grows and grows and grows. The top of the trees in the rainforest are called the canopy. The canopy is a sunny place that touches the sky. The animals that live there like lots of light. The bottom of the rainforest is called the understory. The animals that live in the understory like darkness. And in this steamy environment, the great kapok tree shoots up from the forest and emerges above the canopy. This is a story of a community of animals that live in one such tree in the rainforest. Two men walked into the rainforest. Moments before, the forest had been alive with the sounds of squawking birds and howling monkeys. Now all was quiet as the creatures watched the two men and wondered why they had come. The larger man stopped and pointed to a great kapok tree. There, and then he left. The smaller man took the axe he carried and struck the trunk of the tree. Whack, whack, whack. The sounds of the blows rang through the forest. The wood of the tree was very hard. Chop, chop, chop. The man wiped off the sweat that ran down his face and neck. Whack, chop, whack, chop. Soon the man grew tired. He sat down to rest at the foot of the great kapok tree. Before he knew it, the heat and hum of the forest had lulled him to sleep. A boa constrictor lived in the kapok tree. He slithered down its trunk to where the man was sleeping. He looked at the gash the axe had made in the tree. Then the huge snake slid very close to the man and hissed in his ear. "Señor, this tree is a tree of miracles. It is my home, where generations of my ancestors have lived. Do not chop it down." A butterfly flew by the sleeping man's ear. "Señor, the flowers I need grow in this kapok tree, and I fly from tree to tree and flower to flower collecting pollen. In this way, I pollinate the trees and flowers throughout the rainforest. You see, all living things depend on one another." A troop of monkeys scampered down from the kapok tree. They chattered to the sleeping man. "Señor, we have seen the ways of man. You chop down one tree, then come back for another and another. The roots of these great trees will wither and die, and there will be nothing left to hold the earth in place. When the heavy rains come, the soil will be washed away and the forest will become a desert." A macaw flew down from the canopy. "Señor, do you know that we animals and humans need what we need in order to live? Oxygen. And Señor, do you know what trees produce? Oxygen. If you cut down the forest, you will destroy that which gives us all life." A bright small tree frog crawled along the edge of a leaf. In a squeaky voice, he piped in the man's ear, "Señor, a ruined rainforest means ruined lives, many ruined lives. You will leave many of us homeless if you chop down this great kapok tree." A jaguar had been sleeping along a branch in the middle of the tree. Because his spotted coat blended into the dappled light and shadows of the understory, no one had noticed him. Now he leapt down and paddled silently over to the sleeping man. He growled in his ear, "Senor, the kapok tree is home to many birds and animals. If you cut it down, where will I find my dinner?" An anteater climbed down the kapok tree with her young clinging to her back. The anteater said to the sleeping man, "Senor, you are chopping down this tree with no thought for the future, and surely you know that what happens tomorrow depends upon what you do today. The big man tells you to chop down a beautiful tree. He does not think of his own children, who tomorrow must live in a world without trees." A child from the Yanomamo tribe who lived in the rainforest knelt over the sleeping man. He murmured in his ear, "Senor, when you awake, please look upon us all with new eyes." The man awoke with a start. Before him stood the rainforest child, and all around him staring were the creatures who depended upon the great kapok tree. What wondrous and rare animals they were! The man looked about and saw the sun streaming through the canopy. Spots of sunlight glowed like jewels amidst the dark green forest. Strange and beautiful plants seemed to dangle in the air, suspended from the kapok tree. The man smelled the fragrant perfume of their flowers. He felt the steamy mist rising from the forest floor, but he heard no sound, for the creatures were strangely silent. The man picked up his axe. He swung back his arm as though to strike the tree. Suddenly, he stopped. He turned and looked at the animals and the child. He hesitated. Then he dropped the axe and walked out of the rainforest. I wonder if you have ever seen or heard this story before. I wonder which part you liked best. I wonder which animal you would like to be. And I wonder what it would be like to live in a world without trees. Thank you for listening to this story.